From the station that's on your side, you're watching Friends at 5.
Well, good evening and thanks for joining us tonight for Friends at 5. I'm Lauren Thomas in for Darcy Strickland.
And I'm Andrea Mock. The man suspected of killing a Holly Hill woman and then dumping her body in a swamp was in court today in Orangeburg. 45-year-old Harold Pratt is charged with murder and possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. Deputies say Pratt and the victim, 38-year-old Loretta Bunch, were involved in an argument before Bunch disappeared around Christmas. Investigators found Bunch's body in a waterway off of Highway 453. Pratt has been charged with murder. So far, no bond hearing has been set.
Well, a fugitive from North Carolina has been arrested on Surfside Beach. He's 71-year-old James Edward Coe. Coe has been on the run for almost 30 years, and records show Coe had escaped a North Carolina prison on June 23rd of 1986. He was convicted in April of 1984 on 2 counts of receiving stolen goods in Forsyth and Stokes counties. Coe would have been released in November of 1989, but he was arrested Sunday for stealing jewelry from a flea market. He has been denied bond and will be extradited to North Carolina.
A reminder now about that boil water advisory we told you about yesterday. It's still going on in West Columbia. The city of West Columbia has had to cut off the water for some Lexington County residents until 7 o'clock tonight. Workers are completing a relocation project near Lee Park Road and Mineral Springs Road. Once the water is back on, you will need to boil your water for at least 1 minute before you use it.
Well, the National Weather Service issued a river flood advisory in Columbia for the Congaree River. Last night, the Congaree River level was at nearly 15 feet, just a few feet away from the 19-feet flood stage. The river is under close watch until Friday, and the National Weather Service believes it will be between 10 and 15 feet through the end of the week. The river flooded just last week from heavy rainfall, and the river flood advisory is effective until this evening.
Now, the Midland's most accurate forecast with Chief Meteorologist Jim Gandy.
And I might add that there is now a flood watch which will go in effect late tonight and will continue through tomorrow night in case we see some additional heavy rain. This is a time lapse of our radar over the last 3 hours. You can see how the showers have been moving fairly rapidly toward the east-northeast at about 35 miles per hour. So any rain from this has been light, and we only have a few showers right now to the south of the Columbia area that are moving through. This is what we've seen during the day. A lot of cloudiness in place now. There has been a little bit more sunshine off to our west, some breaks in the clouds as a little drier air has moved in there and the upstate region. We'll look at that a little bit later. But in the meantime, temperatures, they continue to be unseasonably warm. We've also been seeing quite a bit of moisture in our area. Currently over in Atlanta, they're behind the front at the moment. They're at 70 degrees. Ahead of the front, though, we're at 74 in Augusta, and the warm air has been surging northward, 73 degrees up in Raleigh. Here in Columbia, we're cloudy. Our temperature is 74 degrees. It's humid outside. Winds are from the south-southwest at 7 miles per hour. Now for tonight, we do expect to see some showers. I think the better chance for rain will be toward daybreak. A low temperature of 65 degrees. Tomorrow we're going to be seeing some scattered showers. They'll be likely during the day with a high of 75. And we'll continue to see some occasional showers tomorrow night with a low temperature of 64. Now let's take a look at the traffic around our area this afternoon. And we'll start on the northwest side of town. This is the Lexington Highway. Not too bad through West Columbia, but right here near the Lexington Hospital, there is an accident there. It's starting to slow up the traffic, and then it's slow all the way into Lexington. Not too bad on the rest of the interstate system this afternoon. On the southeast side of town, we've got just a little bit of that typical traffic congestion here on the southeast side on the Sumter Highway. Until you get past Pineview, then things begin to clear out. On the northeast side of town, everything's in good shape. No accidents. The interstates are in good shape. If you're traveling from downtown to Blythewood, it should take you about 24 minutes. From downtown to the village at Sand Hill will take you 31 minutes. A look at the weekend forecast is coming up.
All right, look around the nation now. The so-called influenza teen wanted for violating his probation in Texas is back in custody. Police arrested 18-year-old Ethan Couch in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico yesterday, 2 weeks after failing to show up for a hearing. Couch made headlines in 2013 when he was sentenced to just 10 years probation following a drunk driving crash that killed 4 people. At trial, the defense argued Couch suffered from what they called affluenza, a psychological disorder stemming from having been coddled by his wealthy parents.
Tons of severe weather going on across the country. In Iowa, whiteout conditions, wind and ice are making for treacherous travel. Major flooding in Missouri and Illinois claimed at least 10 lives now, and a state of emergency in Oklahoma after freezing rain and ice and sleet left 200,000 people without power. In Texas, at least 9 tornadoes killed 11 people. All right, did you get any pots and pans for Christmas? We are on your side tonight with a recall. Go ahead and check your cabinets. Find out if you have the Martha Stewart cookware, because Macy's is now recalling 2 frying pans after a customer said those metal discs inside popped off and caused bruises and burns and welts. There were 7 reports of metal discs popping off the frying pans, 3 reports of injuries. Customers should stop using those pans, return them to Macy's for store credit. The 8-inch and 10-inch frying pans were sold as part of the Martha Stewart collection in a 10-piece stainless steel cookware set. That set costs about $170. Once again, you can take it back to the store and get yourself store credit.
Well, the Better Business Bureau is out with the top scams for 2015. The scams vary in name, but they are all similar in the way they work. Kenneth Craig explains.
Hundreds of thousands of Americans have received a call like this one.
The IRS has filed a lawsuit against you.
Con artists posing as IRS agents demand immediate payment.
If I didn't clear it up, that they were going to prosecute me.
Lois, who didn't want to give her last name, paid the scammers $4,500 in prepaid debit cards.
I panicked.
The Better Business Bureau says tax cons were by far the top scam of 2015. In other popular scams, criminals pose as debt collectors or tech support. Other imposters claim you've won a sweepstakes or been awarded a grant.
The top scams all involve imposters, people pretending to either be someone that you know and trust or someone that you're afraid of.
The scams have something else in common. The criminal wants money up front. Father Michael Ortiz thought he was a millionaire when he received this phony sweepstakes letter. All he had to do was pay a $40,000 tax to receive his prize.
Hook, line, and sinker, I fell.
And the scam artist won an untraceable form of payment.
So one of the red flags for any scam is if someone is requesting that you pay by prepaid debit card, wire transfer, or gift card, you should be wary.
And experts say if someone is demanding money or if the offer sounds too good to be true, it's likely a scam. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, New York.
Well, to learn about scams in your area, you can check out the Better Business Bureau Scam Tracker at bbb.org/scam tracker.
If your resolution for 2016 is to have more money, which of course is a good one, the City of Columbia is ready to help. And no, they're not giving away free money, but close. They're hosting a free financial workshop. They're going to be held, there's several workshops actually. They're going to be held at Earlwood Park Community Center on January 23rd, January 30th, and February 6th from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. You're going to get a chance to learn about budgeting, building credit, and banking. To register, just go to WLTX.com. The best part is you get lunch and you get a gift card at the end of the program.
Well, if you got your gift cards for Christmas, Target is buying ones that you don't want. A $100 gift card from Walmart would exchange for an $85 Target gift card. The company will exchange gift cards from more than 600 brands, including Old Navy, Cheesecake Factory, Tiffany & Co., and Staples and Pottery Barn.
Well, there was, of course, the year of the Cabbage Patch doll. I got one. The Furby, nah. And then the Tickle Me Elmo year. But this year, what was it? Try to guess. It was, yes, the year of the Fitbit. The fitness tracker is proving to be the biggest star of the year. Sales numbers aren't out yet, but the Fitbit app was the most downloaded app on the Apple App Store on Christmas Day. It also topped the download rankings for the day after Christmas. That's a signal that many people had them and wanted to get them set up right away. I'm so mad because I have worn my ugly Fitbit on TV every day since I bought it for myself, like as my own Christmas present to myself. About 3 weeks ago, and then I left that little weird charger at home.
And so it died.
It died.
Yeah.
So my mama's sending it to me, so I don't have my Fitbit on right now.
And the charger's about this big. It's like, it's just a weird...
Are they expensive? Can I get one someplace?
I don't
Do you know about this?
I don't know. My mom has gone through several Fitbits, so I'm sure she has
several
an
Fitbit
idea.
chargers.
I'll let you know where she finds them.
The man in the store, though, when I was going to buy it, he said, don't even bother with that. It's not going to make you work out more. It does.
It does. Because you look at your, your steps, and you look how many steps steps flights of steps you've taken today.
It reminds you that you've had a sedentary day on a day you might not be thinking about it. It's like, oh my gosh, it's 5 o'clock and I've only had 3,000 steps. I better go for a walk or go to the gym or something.
Sometimes you just have to walk around the house while watching TV. Take that hour episode and just walk.
Or here's something I've done before too. If you're going to be on the phone, don't sit and be on the phone. Pace.
Right.
At
Walk
least
around.
you're burning some calories. Did you get a Fitbit this year? Or if it wasn't a Fitbit, what was your favorite Christmas present? Please tweet at us. Feel free to send pictures.
Right.
You can tweet at me, Andrea Mock, WLTX.
Or at L Thomas, WLTX.
All right, coming up next on Friends at 5, do you need to lose those holiday pounds? Yes. Well, experts say you will enjoy eating healthier if you follow this one secret. What is that secret? We'll explain next.
Well, we are 2 days away from Columbia's famously hot New Year's celebration, and Grammy Award-winning artist Lauryn Hill is headlining this year's event. Famously Hot New Year's is on Main and Gervais Street in downtown Columbia. It's free to show up outside and watch, but of course, just like last year, you can watch it from the comfort of your own home, as News 19 will broadcast the event live from 11 to 12:30 a.m. And law enforcement wants to encourage you to think before you get behind the wheel if you plan on drinking on New Year's Eve. There will be multiple checkpoints around the Midlands. Trooper David Jones says it's important to line up a designated driver before the big night, as alcohol-related crashes are the cause of most of the fatalities on South Carolina's roads.
We're going to have troopers in place. We're going to have law enforcement in place. If you plan to go out and have a few drinks and you plan to drive, be prepared to go to jail. It's that simple. We're going to have law enforcement in place, and we want to end 2015 with no more fatalities.
Well, this year there have been 942 fatalities on the roads in South Carolina.
If you are traveling for New Year's Eve, a new survey from Cheap Hotels says that Miami Beach is the most expensive U.S. destination to ring in 2016. Hotel guests will have to shell out about $286 a night. That's 300% more than regular January rates. Los Angeles ranks second, followed by New Orleans at $249 a night. And a chain restaurant in New York City has a lot of people talking about the celebration that they're having because of the expense. Yes, if you want to celebrate at the New Year's Eve Olive Garden that's in Times Square, you have to pay $400 a person. Well, here's the thing. It's all about location because it is right in Times Square. That dough is not even going to get you unlimited breadsticks, though. The Olive Garden New Year's Eve party, though, does include a DJ, an open bar, and a buffet meal. Those hoping to watch the ball drop are not guaranteed because the view of the ball dropping is limited. Well, lots of you are making New Year's Eve resolutions, and if getting healthier is one of your resolutions, a newly published report suggests that it might be easier than you think. Thanks to these simple 7 steps: quitting smoking, achieving a healthy BMI, exercising, eating a healthy diet, keeping your total cholesterol low, maintaining a healthy blood pressure, and managing your blood sugar levels. As simple as these steps sound, they do require discipline for healthy results.
Well, continuing with the healthy New Year theme, you may want to start by cooking your own food. A recent study finds that people like healthy food more if they make it themselves. And researchers believe part of the reason many of you believe that is because you actually see all the ingredients and know what you're consuming. They suggest workplaces give people a build-your-own sandwich option to help out.
Well, for all of you yoga lovers, you are going to love this story because doing yoga could actually keep money in your pocket. Here's why. In a study that followed more than 17,000 people for 4 years, so that's a very big study, those who did mind and body training like yoga used their health care 43% less than the group who did not. That's an estimated more than $2,000 in savings per year in ER visits. Stress-related health problems make up a big part of your healthcare expenditures in the U.S., along with heart disease and cancer. I have lots of yoga friends who say this is all you should do is yoga. I hate yoga.
Well, there's so many different kinds too. You have the hot yoga.
You like yoga?
I tried it. I dabbled. I'm not there yet because every time I go, I think I'm going to be great. This is going to be easy.
When was the last time you did it?
About 2 years ago.
Okay, then you don't even sit here like you do yoga.
Dip my toe in it.
You're so skinny. I thought, yes, she does yoga. No, but you go to the gym down the road. You're
yeah,
good.
I do. Pump some iron.
Favorite Christmas presents, Darren, Nat, thank you for emailing us and saying he got himself a Fitbit Surge and he loves it. Merry Christmas, Darren.
Merry Christmas.
All right, coming up next, it was Clemson Media Day today as they get ready for the Orange Bowl. Hear how they are getting the team fired up for the big game.
You're watching News 19's Friends at 5 with Andrea Mock and Darcy Strickland.
Well, thanks for sticking with us for Friends at 5. I'm Lauren Thomas and for Darcy Strickland.
And I'm Andrea Mock. The National Weather Service issued a river flood advisory in Columbia for the Congaree River. Last night, the Congaree River level was at nearly 15 feet, just a few feet away from the 19-foot flood stage. The river is under close watch until Friday, until the National Weather Service believes that it will be between 10 and 15 feet, though, through the end of the week. The river flooded just last week from heavy rainfall. The river flood advisory is still in effect this evening.
Well, a dozen families around the Midlands will be getting some much-needed flood help. Hundreds of volunteers have come together to get homeowners back on their feet following the historic flood. Home repairs from mold removal to gutting are taking place during the 3-day Home Build Blitz. One of the organizers for the event says many people didn't even know that the extent of the damage that was done.
There's a lot of families and homeowners who didn't realize that their home was damaged, didn't realize the extent of the moisture in their house, didn't realize that they were going to end up with a mold problem. So I think that our whole community is learning quickly how much damage can happen, sometimes in invisible ways, sometimes in very obvious ways.
Well, coming up tonight at 6, we'll get a chance to hear from homeowners who were thankful for all of the help they received from volunteers.
The deadline to apply for individual assistance has been extended to Monday, January 4th. Now, originally we told you it was January 3rd, but that falls on a Sunday, so FEMA will be accepting registrations through Monday. President Obama has declared all Midlands counties federal disaster areas, which means the entire Midlands is eligible for individual assistance. The money would cover losses not taken care of by your insurance. If you have already registered, no need for you to reapply.
The original extension for the deadline was requested by the governor of the state, and we honored that request. That took the 30-day extension deadline to January 3rd. However, since January 3rd falls on a Sunday, FEMA has extended that registration period to midnight on January 4th, Monday, just to accommodate those that want to register and have other plans, faith-based plans or whatever on Sunday.
If you still need to register, we do have that link on our website, WLTX.com, under the Flood Recovery tab. And a reminder about a very large boil water advisory going on today in West Columbia. The city of West Columbia has the water cut off for some Lexington County residents until 7 p.m. tonight. Workers are completing a relocation project near Lee Part Road and Mineral Springs Road. Once the water is back on, you will need to boil your water for at least 1 minute before you use it.
Now, the Midlands' most accurate forecast with Chief Meteorologist Jim Gandy.
We only have a few light showers out there. One light shower right here in the southeast corner of Richland County. It's about to move into Sumter County. It's actually fading. Most of the showers are down in western Orangeburg County around Nices, and these are moving east-northeast at 35 miles per hour. Currently in Columbia, it's cloudy, 74 degrees. It's humid outside. Winds are from the south-southwest at 7 miles per hour. Tonight, we'll see a chance for rain, but I think the better chance for rain will be closer to daybreak. 65 overnight. Then tomorrow, we'll see a high temperature of 75 degrees. We're going to be seeing some rain moving through the area, and we'll continue to see that chance for rain on Thursday. With a front coming through the area, we're expecting a high of 70. Then the cooler air starts to come in. Now, there's still some question as to when this rain is going to end on Thursday. Right now, we're thinking late Thursday afternoon, but there may still be a chance for some showers Thursday night. Friday, though, it's going to be cloudy with a high of 59 and cooling off over the weekend. By the time we get to Sunday, it'll be mostly sunny with a low of 35 and a high of 57. Now, let's take one more look at the traffic around our area this afternoon, and we'll start on the northeast side of town. There are no accidents there to report, and the interstates are in good shape there. On the southwest side of town, the same thing. The interstates are in good shape, and it's not too bad going out on the Swansea Highway. On the northwest side of town, good news. Things have improved on the Lexington Highway from West Columbia all the way into Lexington. No significant slowdowns on the interstate, but it'll still take you from downtown to Harbison Boulevard about 15 minutes. Ladies, back to you.
Well, the year might be winding down, but things are heating up in the race for the White House. And this morning, USA Today released its final GOP power rankings for this year. Holding down the top spot, Donald Trump. The rankings track who is the strongest candidate in the Republican presidential race each week, and Trump has been on top regularly since the survey launched. Behind Trump is Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, Chris Christie, and then Jeb Bush. Well, presidential hopeful Jeb Bush will be in South Carolina tomorrow night. He'll be at a campaign event at Hudson Smokehouse Barbecue in Lexington. That event starts at 6:30 p.m. Now, while Jeb is in Columbia, Donald Trump will be campaigning in Hilton Head. The GOP front runner will hold a meet and greet at the Westin Hilton Head Island Resort, and that event starts at 11 a.m.
The Midlands is filled with all types of religions, and today, Governor Nikki Haley declared January to be the South Carolina Interfaith Harmony Month. South Carolina Interfaith Partners made the announcement this morning at the State House. They say that they hope people will take the opportunity to learn more about other religions and cultures through various festivals, programs, and dinners that they'll be hosting in January.
We gather as faith communities and join together and have an exchange or dialogue, conversations about what it is to be that particular faith-based person, what their traditions are as opposed to the others, how we are all very similar and more similar than we are different.
For a list of all of those events, you can go to our website, WLTX.com.
Well, the South Carolina USO got a big check this week to make the holidays brighter for Fort Jackson troops. Dominion Resources donated $10,000 to the USO, and the USO relies on gifts to make a difference in the lives of service members and their families. Throughout the holiday season, USO South Carolina hosts several events for service members who are here at Fort Jackson and around the state.
With Christmas over, it's time for the annual grinding of the greens. Keep the Midlands beautiful. We'll turn your Christmas tree into mulch. Trees may be dropped off through January 7th. Don't forget, though, you got to take everything off the tree. That even includes tinsel. You can drop off trees, no wreaths or garland or other greenery. There's several different drop-off locations, but if you're looking for a complete list, we've got all of that at our website, WLTX.com.
And if you're still looking for stuff to do with the kids while they're out of school, Winterfest is still going on at the State Museum. Tomorrow there will be holiday crafts and a scavenger hunt, plus the observatory will be open for solar viewing. This is the last week to catch the Polar Express in the 4D Theater and the Star of Bethlehem in the Planetarium on Sunday. Admission to the museum is just $1.
See, still plenty of things around the Midlands to get you in the holiday spirit. Nothing really, though, like the ELGIN lights. The show has been going on for 18 years, and it is still going on tonight.
That's exactly right, and that's where we can find our Janae Frazier, who is out there, and this is all to help benefit the Camp Camo kids. Janae, what's going on?
Hey Lauren, it is absolutely beautiful out here. They've got 6 buildings as well as thousands of lights outside. I'm joined now by Paul Towns, who's behind all of this. And get this, they were actually going to close on Christmas Eve, but decided to open for one more day. Tell me, why did you do that?
My biggest reason was we have a lot of people that have family that are coming from out of state, and they didn't get here until after Christmas. And so we just decided to go ahead and open up for one more day and give the community also another chance to come out. We've had a couple rain days, so it was a little slow. And so we just opened up another day, and hopefully we'll be full tonight and everybody have a good time.
What kinds of things can they see out here?
Well, we have 6 buildings that are just full of toy trains, tractors, antiques, blacksmith shop that'll be working, steam engines that'll be running, a military museum. We have photo props so you can take pictures of you, as an elf or something. And then we have over 40,000 lights that we put up. And we do a free hayride through the lights with an antique tractor. And everything that we do out here is free. We do accept donations, and 100% of the donations I give to Camp Chemo in memory of Cole Sawyer.
Awesome. And tell me a little bit about the cause that you're raising money for.
Well, Camp Chemo is a camp where kids can go for 7 days, and they can actually be children and not have to worry about doctors and hospitals and, you know, getting poked and prodded and all that. Now, when they go to camp, we pay to make sure they have their doctors out there, the oncologist is there, ambulances are on standby, and also if they have a sibling, we send their sibling along with them. And this year our goal was to do 20 children to Camp Chemo. So that's our goal, is to make enough money to be able to send 20 kids to camp.
Well, thank you so much. And if you want to get out here and help with that goal and, of course, enjoy all of this holiday fun, you can come from 6 to 9 tonight. It's at 2433 Charlie Horse Circle. That's in Elgin. Ladies, back to you.
Oh, so excited that it's going on for one more night. Hope you can get out there and make a donation to Camp Chemo.
It's a great cause as well, so that's great that they're able to do this once again this year. Well, coming up next, it's something we all enjoy doing come January 1st, but who actually keeps their resolutions? Experts say it can happen. We'll tell you how next.
Well, you know the saying, actions speak louder than words, and that goes double for New Year's resolutions, which are so often made with the best of intentions and then totally abandoned.
Exactly. And once it comes, it's hard to deliver on them, but don't fall into the trap of making resolutions you can never actually accomplish. We've got 6 ways to keep your New Year's resolutions this year.
All right, coming in at number 1, start early, like now. If you haven't already started planning out exactly how you are going to conquer your 2016 goals, you may be a little too late this time. You've got to give yourself enough time to outline exactly what you need to do to succeed.
Number 2, set only resolutions you really want. I know that sounds simple enough. After all, why would you set goals that you didn't really want to achieve? But we often make resolutions based on what we think we should do rather than what we really want to do.
As Miley Cyrus would say, yes, I'm quoting Miley Cyrus, it's about the climb. You have better shot of achieving your resolutions if you stick to your goals and set your goals you actually have control over. You want to lose 15 pounds? Well, sticking to a healthy diet and exercise routine is more important than the number on the scale if you can't force those pounds off. So stick to a resolution like, I'm going to go to the gym 5 days a week, and I'm going to always fill my plate with half fruits and veggies.
Number 4, you don't want to go overboard. You may be tempted to write down 20 things you want to change this year, but that's a good way to overwhelm yourself and fail to achieve any at all. It's probably best to make 2 or 3 resolutions that you intend to keep all year long.
Well, make realistic plans. It's not enough to say that you want to hit the gym more often. You need to make realistic plans of what it is you want to change. If your goal is to get in shape, write down how many times you are going to go to the gym each week to achieve your goal. Unless you get specific, you will have a hard time identifying all of the obstacles that could get in your way.
And final tip for you, keep records of your progress. Think of your resolutions like a to-do list or your budget. And you can't know what you've spent and what you've got to let go if you go shopping, and so you don't take accurate notes. Tracking your progress is a good way to stay accountable and keep the resolution fresh in your mind. There are several apps you can use that will help you keep track of what you've accomplished.
Do you have a resolution yet?
Still working on it, so I guess I'm in that late group.
Nah, too late.
I know. I'll get it done though. I'm just do better for 2016.
I want tone arms. Like you.
Like mine.
I want tone arms. You know, the arms that have the little bump in them, that go like
bump,
whatever that thing is called. That's just, a
little horseshoe thing.
I want a tricep like that, so it looks like that. How do I get that? Where can I buy that? Does Target have it?
You can go to the gym.
You can go to Target? Okay. I've been going to the gym.
They might have them in the way back section.
Nothing. I still got nothing. All right, coming up next, it was Clemson Media Day. They're getting ready for the big Orange Bowl. Hear how they are getting ready for the big game, what they're doing to get themselves psyched up. Reggie's next. The men's basketball team returns to the court tomorrow night. They take on Francis Marion at Colonial Life Arena. This is the first game between the two schools. Tip-off set for 7. The Gamecocks are ranked number 20 in the USA Today coaches poll and number 25 in the AP poll. South Carolina is 11-0 for the first time in more than 80 years. I'm so excited about that.
And
Go,
where's Francis
Coach
Marion from?
Frank Martin.
Where's Francis Marion located?
Drawing a blank up here.
About an hour and 10 minutes from here. I-20 towards Florence.
Yeah,
Florence.
on the way to Florence.
I don't know why they're not playing Coker. I guess they want to play the second best Division II team in the PD area.
Very. Did you have a lot of friends that went to Francis Marion since you're from the PD?
I knew a few.
A couple Francis Marion grads. All right, so good job to Frank Martin in the meantime, talking about Clemson today.
It's all about the Tigers and down there in the Sunshine State where they've had some success and looking to capture what would obviously be a huge win. They're going to take on Oklahoma New Year's Eve. Obviously, the New Year's resolution is to win that game and lock their spot into the National Playoff Championship game. That'll be coming up in Glendale, Arizona. Meanwhile, former Lake Marion Gator Mike Williams, he was an all-ACC selection, but an injury in week 1 put him on the DL for the entire season. In fact, it was the very first drive. He actually scored on this touchdown. So the first touchdown of 2015, but he ended up on his back, and the diagnosis was a fractured neck. So as the Tigers have been climbing up to the top of the national rankings, Williams has been a more than casual observer. Coming up tonight on News 19 at 6, we will hear from the former Lake Marion Gator and how he has handled watching his team be successful, obviously what he's planning on doing in 2016. He's actually eligible for the NFL draft right now, but he says he will be back and looking forward to have a big senior season. Also, if you go to our website, WLTX.com, there's a story up on Lamar's B.J. Goodson, the linebacker out of the PD area, since we're talking PD, who's had a very successful career with the Tigers as he really kind of developed from a player that wasn't very heavily recruited, and now he's one of the big cogs on defense. So that's on our website, WLTX.com. And, of course, we'll hear from Mike Williams coming up at 6.
You're just giving the PD all the love tonight.
So much love.
All the love.
I know.
All right. Thanks, Reggie.
We'll be right back after this. Here's a look at what's on WLTX tonight. It starts at 8 with NCIS, then at 9, it's the 38th Annual Kennedy Center Honors. And you can head to bed after you watch News 19 at 11. Well, Netflix announced it's hosting special animated countdowns on New Year's Eve for the little ones, featuring the Care Bears and others. The idea is kids don't have to stay up until midnight to watch the New Year's Eve countdown, which is pretty cool.
The big famously hot New Year event is just around the corner, and folks from the University of South Carolina Relief and Famously Hot New Year's are using this as an opportunity to help those who were impacted by the historic flood. They're going to have volunteers at every entrance to the celebration to collect your non-perishable food donations for Harvest Hope and also monetary donations for the 1SC Flood Relief Fund. Donations will be taken directly to Harvest Hope, so if you go along, make sure you bring some extra cash with you or perhaps some canned goods. And the Library of Congress announced earlier this week the annual list of movies that it will be adding to the National Film Registry. Among the 25 films added, The Shawshank Redemption, that's got to be every guy I know's favorite movie, Ghostbusters, also a classic, and of course, you know, here in South Carolina with Shaw just down the road, we love our Top Gun. A panel chose the movies that they deem worthy for preservation for their cultural, historic, or artistic importance. These additions bring the number of films in the National Registry, which began in 1989, to 675 films. I approve of all 3 of those.
Yeah, you know, I got to go back and refresh my memory on the Shawshank Redemption, but definitely Ghostbusters.
It's the prison movie with Morgan Freeman, and he gets out, and then they go to live on an island somewhere.
Sounds about right.
It's a very long movie. I summed it up real quick for you.
Yeah, 3 seconds.
There's another actor. Who's that other actor? Tweet me. Who's that other actor in Shawshank Redemption?
I don't remember.
I don't know. Lauren, thanks for being my friend.
Thank you for having me.
News 19 at 6 is in 1 minute.